I think the challenge we have today, and I've been coaching, I guess, about 30 years, and society has changed things. And I think all of you would agree that we're dealing a little more with players now that have a little more sense of entitlement. Things are a little bit easier in our society today than they were 15 years ago. So when you're dealing with players that really don't have to compete on a daily basis, how are we going to get them to compete when they walk in the gym? That's the question. That's the secret. Excuse me. So I think with that, the first thing I think that has to happen in the gym is that you have to have discipline. All right, you got to be in charge. It's your gym. You got to have discipline, and whenever you have discipline, there has to be accountability. So they have to be accountable for the fact that when we do this drill or when we train this particular skill, that they're going to do it to the best of their ability. All right, are they going to do that on their own? No, probably not. So that's where you come in. All right, I think that if you're asking for discipline, if you're asking them to do things a certain way, there has to be consequences. All right, there has to be consequences. And I know I'm starting to sound like an evil individual here, but I don't know any other way around it. If you don't do it right, or you don't do it with a lot of effort, there has to be some consequence. That they are either going to have to do 5 push-ups, or going to have to run a lap, or they're going to have to, whatever you do, run a suicide, on up to probably the worst consequence if you got a competitive team, is that you ask them to get out of the drill. You're messing up our drill, step over here, all right? And if they're truly a competitive player, that will bother them. If they go over there and get their cell phone out of their bag and sit there and start that, then I don't know that you're going to get any competitiveness in this individual, all right? So I think, again, there has to be consequences, without question, all right? We're talking about consequences. We have 2 types in our gym. There's self-imposed or coach-imposed, okay? So if these girls were out here in a for instance, a 6-on-6, we're doing wash drills or whatever, and we have a girl that doesn't go for a ball, okay, and she knows she's got to go for every ball, right? That's what we're teaching, go for every ball. You're not going to get every ball, but you got to train yourself to go for it, all right? And they stand there and they do this, you know. Got any of those? Yeah, we all do. All right. I know some of you were too tired to raise your hand this morning, probably. It's the last day. But anyway, you know, what are we going to do with this? We're going to allow this to happen? Because if she does it, why can't she do it? And why can't she do it? All right? So, in our situation is, she knows she can jump. We have it where we train. We're in a gym with a facility with 4 courts. All right? And we're on the first court, and they're 1, 2, 3, 4. So one of ours is you jump out, you run down, touch a wall, and come back. It's a length of 3 courts. So the deal is she can jump up, or no, I'm sorry, she didn't go for it, so she don't have to get up. She can just stand there, and she can pull herself out of this drill, and she takes off and runs that wall, all right? If I or any of our coaches has to say, Jess, you didn't go for the ball, step out of there. You're going with 2 walls, 3 walls, whatever you want to do. But it's going to be a little bit more than what if they just do it themselves. We found that works pretty well. You know, a kid that doesn't go for the ball, she goes, gets her, just, I've seen them just, sometimes I didn't think it was that bad of an effort at it. They just took off running, you know, we have somebody else step in. And I think if you can get them in that mentality that, you know, if they don't do what you're asking them to do, there is some consequence. It may be just 1 push-up or a burpee or something. I'm not talking about punishing. I'm just talking about something has to happen if they don't do what they're supposed to do.